Picture this. You're sitting on your couch watching a trailer for a new film. It catches your eye, but right when it pulls you in, the advertisement ends and your attention is dropped. I guess I can check it out once it comes to streaming, you say to yourself. Sounds familiar, right? Welcome to the Scape podcast, where we take you on a journey to discover more about the world around us. I'm your host, Evan Clayball. Today, I'll be discussing the way streaming has affected the film industry and what that means for the industry's future. Join me and learn a little more. Streaming has been a fixture in households across the world for many years. This has brought widespread access to media and an increased demand for content. In 2022 alone, Netflix added over 900 original movies or series to its service and has yet to slow down. With this onslaught of content, the traditional movie-going experience feels like a waste of time and money for many. Now, with people used to the streaming climate, many filmmakers have moved on to releasing their films directly into streaming alongside of releasing them to theaters. This leads to people skipping the theater experience altogether to save money and watch in the comfort of their own home. This switch from traditional movie viewing to now may not be as seamless as it may seem. Many point out COVID as a primary cause. The COVID-19 outbreak shut down theaters across America, cutting the industry's global revenue in half. In March 2019, AMC, one of the biggest theaters in the country, was reporting nearly $33 million in losses. In a span of a year, that number grew to over $2 billion. Still now, with the lockdown restrictions lifted, profits have yet to reach their previous highs. According to the Wall Street Journal, the number of streaming service subscribers has increased nearly 50%. But this wasn't all from COVID. As explained by Carolina News and Reporter, the industry was already struggling. Even pre-pandemic, film studios constantly fought on how soon they could release their films onto streaming. It is clear that viewers and filmmakers are growing accustomed to this new world of streaming. Quality of content is also at risk. With the rise of content demand, more and more shows are being made for streaming and theatrical release. When these shows are made so quick and cheap, it is detrimental on their quality. To learn more about this, I spoke to Paul Grote, the film literature teacher at Norwell High School. Hello, Mr. Grote. It's a pleasure.
Evan, thanks for coming to my classroom.
Of course. So I have a few questions for you about how streaming is affecting the film industry. So I'd like to ask you them. My first question is, have you noticed a change in the way that you consume media?
I definitely have noticed a change in the way that I am entertained by media in a variety of different ways. When I was younger, before I had kids, my wife and I almost every weekend would go see a movie. Even if there wasn't anything exciting out, we would go to get out of the house. We would go to have quality time together. And I had a big popcorn bucket, and I got refills every time. I ate most of that popcorn every time. Denise, my wife, had a few bites. And that was, I would almost describe that as my learning to be an adult period. I've had children now, and even going out for dinner is difficult. So the reason that I consume media differently is because of time restrictions in my life. I can't go to a movie for 4 hours because my mom and my mother-in-law watch our children during the workday, so they're already helping us out for 8 to 10 hours a day. So to ask them for 4 more hours feels disrespectful to their time. So the reason that I stream at home, watching TV shows, movies, I'm big on podcasts as well, is because I don't have the time to go watch a movie, go to dinner and stuff like that for 4 to 5 hours, the amount of time that it takes to get out there.
Yeah. My second question is, do you feel this change occurred due to the COVID outbreak?
Well, obviously everybody was restricted to staying at home during COVID, and I think everybody likes to consume media in one way or another. And when we were stuck at home because we couldn't go to the movie theater, couldn't go out to eat, things like that, we were streaming a lot of TV shows, a lot of movies at home because you needed something to do. So I think it was easy for everybody to, if they hadn't started streaming from Netflix, Hulu, whatever services you use, most people probably got a subscription, found a friend subscription, whatever way they needed to watch something. They asked friends for things to watch. I think we all remember the show with, what was he? The Tiger guy.
Tiger King.
The Tiger King. A lot of people watched that. That was a really popular one where you would binge through the show. So COVID definitely was a time when I specifically remember sitting in the kitchen dining room TV watching through several television shows with my wife because there wasn't much else to do. And I think people also, as a result of COVID and streaming, saw that it was much more accessible and easy to just stay at home and watch things. So they just started doing it. And in fact, it probably saved money during that process as well, because going into the theater, I mentioned I would buy that large popcorn bucket. Even though I had the bucket, I was spending a lot of money on popcorn that I could make at home for a fraction of the price I was spending there.
Yeah. Here's my third question. Do you prefer streaming over going to the theater?
You know, in my current state of life, yes, because, again, I mentioned my time is restricted. I enjoy the comfort of being at home because my bed or couch is more comfortable than a movie theater seat, even the reclining ones. But I like the experience of going to a movie theater more because of the big screen, the sound is different. While the popcorn is more expensive, it tastes different than the kind that I make at home. Just the whole experience at the theater is different and feels more exciting than watching an episode of whatever show it is that you're going through at home. But the convenience of streaming would probably make me prefer that. In addition to just TV shows and things like that, I stream football as well. And streaming is important to me there because I'm a big fantasy football player.
Yeah. How do you feel streaming affects the quality of filmmaking?
I would say that the films that are produced, they're maybe trying to make more quantity over quality because the more people that stream it, the more revenue that they bring in. I don't have any research that backs that up, but I would assume that Netflix, Hulu, whoever puts these shows out, the more streams that you get with your show, the more popularity, the more likely they are to renew that movie, TV show, whatever it is, because I think we all can look at Netflix and see shows that have been done for a long time, like The Office is on. What program is The Office on? Peacock.
Yeah.
And that's an older show that's been done for a while, and that continues to get I watch it every other day. I would say so. As far as the quality, I definitely think that shows now want to produce more. They want to get people excited for the next season and then push it out so that they get the views, the popularity, and things like that.
I have one last question for you. What do you think makes streaming so popular?
The simplicity and ease of it definitely is something that attracts many people. You don't have to drive to a theater to go watch a movie. You can invite friends over to your house and have your own movie night at home. I would say it's much more cost efficient. The subscriptions aren't super expensive for an entire month of viewing as opposed to going to the theater, and that's going to probably cost you $40 when all is said and done if you bring somebody with you for one movie versus you could probably watch, if you're binging through a show, 10 episodes in one day. That's not healthy, but I've definitely been there before, and it costs you your monthly subscription as opposed to that $40 evening to see one movie.
Well, thank you. That's all the questions I have for you.
It's been a pleasure. Follow me at pgrote31 on Twitter.
Perfect. I will share that. Thank you, Mr. Grote. While the rise of streaming has undoubtedly disrupted the movie industry and raised concerns about the future of movie theaters, one thing remains certain. People will continue to love and enjoy movies. Films have the incredible ability to transport us to different worlds, evoke emotions, and spark discussions. They have the power to connect, inspire, and leave a lasting impact on us. With the growth of streaming, people have increased access to new content they have yet to see. This accessibility ensures that this content can be appreciated again and again by audiences around the world, even if they must sort through some quickly made and disappointing shows. So, even if the paradigm of theaters shift and change in the future, people will continue to gather, whether physically or virtually, to celebrate and immerse themselves in the world of cinema. And until some new, more convenient form of entertainment comes to sweep podcasts off their feet, I hope you stay listening. Thank you, and good night.